Hey guys, so this video is on the Teknofest event to which I went to about a week ago, and we will be discussing three things. Firstly, what is Teknofest? Second, the three competitions that I participated in and how did they went, and thirdly, the learning points. So what is Teknofest? Teknofest is one of the largest tech events in Pakistan since 2024. It brings together students, innovators, high-level CEOs, and more, hosting competitions across major fields, for example, business, programming, pitching, ideation, editing, gaming, and so many more. So the first competition that started was speed coding, which was meant to start at 10 a.m. but due to a major Wi-Fi problem, it took a lot of time to solve. It started at approximately 1 p.m. So anyhow, we were given 1.5 hours and 6 questions to solve, and the ranking happened based on three factors. Firstly, how many questions did we solve? Second, how many attempts did it took to solve each question? And thirdly, how much time did it took to solve each question? So the competition was very intense against some of the best competitive programmers across Pakistan. But despite that, I was able to solve three questions. The first one being very easy, the second one being difficult, and the third one being very difficult. And I was able to score the 15th position by the end of the competition. And alongside the competition, there were so many stalls across Teknofest, and visitors were allowed. So due to that, there was so much crowd and so many people that the noise levels were very high. And because of that, focusing on problem solving during the competition became a very big challenge. But in order to participate, we had to somehow manage it, so we did it. So the second competition that started was machine learning and picture idea, which were meant to start simultaneously. And the way I was planning was that I would be doing machine learning with my programming team, and meanwhile my business team would be pitching in the picture idea competition. But due to some technical difficulties, machine learning competition got delayed by approximately 3 or 3.5 hours. So I was able to participate in picture idea, let's call it PYI for later, with my team. So the competition went well, and again, due to the very high noise levels and noise levels being through the roof, it was very difficult to communicate and for the judges to understand what we were saying despite them being very close to us. And we also meant to show them a live demo, but due to severe internet connection, we weren't able to show that. And despite all of that, the demo and the presentation went well enough. And we were hoping to pitch to the judges that were earlier than them, because the current one got changed very last minute, and we had already connected with the judges earlier before the competition. So we were hoping to do that, but anyhow, it was fine because the current judges were also very listening, and they were very attentive, listening to us as best as they could and asking questions attentively throughout the pitch. And the results were to be announced during the night, and we will discuss that later. So thirdly, the third competition was machine learning. Our team consisted of 4 members. It started at approximately 4:30 p.m. We were provided with a PDF and 2 other files. One of them was dataset, and the PDF consisted of the deliverables that we had to do for the competition. The time that we were given was 1 hour, which was changed from 1.5 hour that we were told earlier. So we, during the competition, we did as much as we could. We trained whatever models we thought would or could work best. We did all the visualizations throughout the time frame, and by the time the competition ended, we weren't able to do our submission due to again the severe internet connection and again the noise levels being through the roof. It was incredibly difficult to focus. So we called the invigilator, we told them what happened, and him being obvious to the network problem, he agreed to our request, and we were able to meet the judges right then and there and show them our code. And before, one day before the competition, we were provided with a rule book for the machine learning, which mentioned what we could be expected during the competition. Now with that, before the competition, we had practiced so much on so many different things that by some unfortunate mistake during the competition, we used the file that we practiced on instead of the dataset that we were provided, and due to that mismatch, we were disqualified. That was very unfortunate and also taught us a very valuable lesson, which we will discuss very soon. So the results, which were announced at night, we weren't able to score any position in the picture idea competition. And in the video editing competition, in which my brother Hunain Adnan participated in, he was able to score the first position. So before that video editing competition, an hour or 1.5 hours approximately before that, I convinced him to participate in it. I knew how good he was. I believed in his skill. So I told him that he could win. And so we registered right away. We went to the competition arena. They provided him with over 100 GB worth of raw video files. And he was given approximately 1 to 1.5 hours of time frame to go through as many files as he could and cook up an amazing video that would score him as high of a position as possible. So he did as best as he could. He recorded himself for that video. I don't know if others do that, but he recorded himself for that video, which he would use in that editing. And by the end, the video that is submitted in actually scored in the first position, 25,000 rupees and a shield, you can say. So the learning points from from these three competitions were: firstly, always write your code in a new folder from scratch unless it is allowed in the file explicitly. Even if it is allowed in the file to that you can use some other code, always start doing it in a new folder from scratch, because it's always better to be safe than sorry. And when you go into very high level competitions, mistakes like these are likely to occur because of all the intense competition and people's eyes being on us, watching us for the competition. So the second thing is that events like these, even if you're not proficient, you must go and do these events, because the experience that they provide you could be very valuable and could come in very handy, especially when you go to high levels and become very proficient. And the networking opportunity is great, because best of the best programmers or business ideas or pitchers come here. So it gives you an incredible opportunity to meet the most talented and hardworking people. The third thing is, rehearse more times than you think necessary, because I believe that in the PYI competition, if you would have rehearsed much more than we thought necessary, there was a high likelihood that we could have won, because the person who won that was actually pitching an ashtray, a very competitive industry. And despite on paper the idea being not as good against so many big competitors, it's basically depends on the art of pitching, and he pitched it so well that he scored first position. So yeah, rehearse more times than you think necessary, and hopefully it works out. So the experience for the competition was quite unique and was very exciting. And so let me know what was your major key point that you took from this video, and I hope to see you soon.